Hey guys, in this video we will make a very interactive Paris Olympic 2024 medal dashboard. Yes, and this dashboard is live data will fetch it, will display it in a tabular format. Even we can see this data into card format also. We can search the data, we can sort the data on the basis of the rank, medal like gold, silver, bronze also. We can show the total medal also country wise. Guys, this is our fourth project. Already we made 3 projects. You guys can check all 3 projects into the JavaScript project playlist. For reference purpose, you can go through the source code also that I already committed on my GitHub account. Let's see the demo. As you can see guys, this is data, and this data is coming directly from the Olympic website. So over here we are calling a REST API and fetching the data and displaying it over here. This project is completely in JavaScript, guys. Another thing is in sorting it also according to rank wise, gold wise, silver and everything. Okay, we are showing serial number, we have country name. Even we can search the country name also. Suppose I need to search India, I can see this is India, and yesterday we got a new medal, that is silver one, right? So total we got a 5-1, and we can filter it, and plus one more thing, even we can see card by data also. Over here also we can search. Suppose I want to search United, so these are the United States, and suppose I need to search Japan, so these are the Japan related. So JA name is coming into here and here also, right? So this is actually filter on the basis of if some text is included into some country name, right? So we will make this one. So this week we will make this project, right? This project we will learn JavaScript API, that is called fetch API, async and await also. Definitely we need to make dynamic HTML table, because this data can be grow and actually reduce it also. This count also coming live, guys. Okay, so everything is coming, we does not have dummy data, it's coming from API. And over here we know how to make a dynamic card, and you can see this card is also, we have very good look and feel also. Further also I will make such an interactive project. You guys will just keep learning it, just go through it. If you guys will put it these project in your resume, definitely will get a job. So these are, you can say, practically hands-on, not like as a dummy project. These are the completely live project. According to your convenience, you can extend this project also. So let's start the coding part. So in the code section I made a 3 file, and all 3 files are empty. So first we will make the HTML part of it. So let me generate HTML5 template. Over here let's change the title of it. So this is Olympic dashboard, and I am adding over here font awesome, because we required some icon like this icon and this medal icon, right? So for this we are using font awesome over here. Next thing is, guys, these are the CSS part. CSS is very basics part, guys. So this CSS, guys, you will get it from the reference code of the GitHub. So from there you can download. Please let me know if you have any doubt or anything you won't understand. Please write down a comment. I'll explain you in detail also. Please go through it also. I wrote down actually few pseudocode over here, after, before, and like hover also we have, so that exactly some animation or something we will get it actually, right? So you saw these things. I was talking about this thing. When you hover it, you can see these things will become, right? So this thing is coming from there. If anybody wanted to learn the CSS, please go through 3school.com. So there you will get it in very basics and very easy language. You will get it the CSS documentations. Or please let me know if you have any doubt. I will help out you also. Let's make the layout of the page. First we require a container. So this is our container. Second is, next is we require a title. Then we need to be required a, below the title we require the input box. So there we will write down our search input. Inside of the search input we require the 2 button to toggle between the view, table and the card view. So these are the 2 buttons. Below all these things we require a tabular format, and this is our table view. Similarly we have one more view that is called card view, that will be just below of the table view. So only one will be visible, one we will hide it actually. So we'll toggle between these two. And definitely below we have one JavaScript also. So in the table, guys, this will be the static, means this header will be always remain there. So we can write down the header over here, and body part will become dynamic, means according to how many country we have. So according to that we will show it also. Might be tomorrow some country will get some medal, so that country will be added over here. So new row will be generated. Here the body part will become dynamic. So our HTML and CSS part is done. So now let's start the JavaScript part. In the JavaScript, first we will wrap all our code into the self-invoke function, because global variables can create an issue of the global pollution security issues. Since your variables can be changed from the another file also could possible. So whether we should be put it into a JavaScript object, and that is we call JavaScript namespace. Okay, so over here we are wrapping into self-invoke functions. So this is self-invoke functions, and this function self-invoke means it will invoke itself exactly, right? So now inside in it we should write down our source code. Our app code will be over here. So first thing is, when we land on the page, we should be call an API call, because we need to fetch the data, then only we can display the data. So to fetch the data, we'll use async functions and we'll write down fetch medal data. Over here we'll use async and await, guys. Async and await is also another way. There we can consume the promise API also. So we'll use it over here, await fetch, and inside in it we'll give the get API URL. So this is our get API URL, and it will return some response. In this response we can check if status code is 200, then we can write down something. Over here we will get the response from the JSON. Remember guys, fetch API always we need to consume 2 times. Okay, so that's why we need to write down 2 times await, or we need to be write down 2 times then keyword. Then only we'll get our real data. So one, we will get it normal. So in the response we will need to be called the JSON functions. Then we will set another promise and we will get the actual data. So this data I'm putting into a variables, and these are the 2 variables, one for medal data, another one original medal data. Suppose we will filter the data. So when we filter it, once we will come back from the filter, we need original data, because we wanted to be bring it again the same list. So we don't want it to be call it again API. We will actually bring it from the original medal data. I'll show you these things when we will develop the filter functionality. So right now from this data we will collect the result and we'll store into the medal data. Here we don't want it to return anything. One more thing guys, we should wrap it always our source code into try catch, because chances of that we get some error. So we should be wrap it, and this concept we call exception handling. One more thing, we should write down proper message. Don't write down error. You should write down error fetching medal data means proper. We should know when we will saw the message, from where the message we got it and what is the meaning of the message. So the first part is done. Then we should call this function also. Over here I'm calling it. Let's test it. You guys can test it in multiple way. One is to, you can directly right click and open the live server or Edge. For this one you need to be required an extension. For extension you can go from here, you can install live server, light server, HTTP server. Even you can install through the npm also. You can run the command also. Once you right click and open with live server, your HTML file will be hosted on a particular node server that is internally they have, and you will see on the browser, and that is hosted on localhost over here. Okay, so this is, we can see this is our page and view that is coming from the HTML and CSS. But when we right click and inspect, we should see the API call also. So let's refresh. We can see this is API call, and this data we stored into the medal data and the original medal data. So this part is done. So next part is we need to be render the view. So to render a view, I am making a new function, render view. Over here we'll check which is the active view, because user can switch between these two. So now which one is active, we need to show that particular, we will call that particular functions. So for default I'm making it over here. This is the table view, and here we'll write down a conditions. Inside in it, load table view. Else part we will load the card. This function should call over here. After the API call is done, then it should call it. So next one we will make render table view. So we'll create a new functions, render table. Inside in it, first we should get the table view and this t-body. This t-body dynamically will generate the rows. So we are getting the t-body from the query selector. Inside in it we can write down CSS selector. This is the ID and this is the child of this element. First thing is we will clear the table body. Next one is we have data is medal data over here. In this data we'll run a for each loop. Yes, we will make similar to this one. We will create a row, that is correct. In the row we need to make a column, right? And definitely in the last we will need to be added into the table body also. But over here we have this much of the column. So total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 column. And we need to be add more column also. Over here we will add these column. This is index, and index should become from here, and this should not be the medal, it should become item over here, right? So these are the cell we will create it dynamically. So every row we have these are the cell. This is the serial number, this is the country name, then rank, and this is the gold medal, this is silver, this is bronze, and this is the total. Finally, whatever the row we collected, that we will append into the table body one by one. So this our view will be created. Let's see on the browser. So let's refresh it. So over here guys, either we can check status code or either we can write down status okay also. Let's see on the browser now. We can see our data, right? And this we want to be displayed in the table format. So serial number, country, rank, gold, silver, bronze and total. Now we need to add two more functionality in the table, searching and the sorting. So before adding the sorting and searching functionality, let's add the another render view, that is the card render, and that we will call it over here. This card render will render it over here on card view. Similar to that, but we done it into the table view. We will actually first get the element and we will clear the element. Next thing is we need to run a loop. How many country data we have, that much card will be generated. This is the for loop. Over here we will create one by one card. So this is the new div we are creating, and on this one we are adding the class name is card only. Whatever the card we are creating it, the one by one card, we will add the card on card view over here. Next thing is we need to be add the content of the card. So the content of the card, guys, this one. First we will add the heading part, then we will show the rank of it. And right now I'm talking about this one, heading, rank. Then we need to show 3 medal, and below we need to show total of it. This is the name of the country. This is the rank of the country, and these are the medal over here. We have 3 medal. First is the gold medal. We will show the gold and number of the count. We'll show the silver, number of the count, and we'll show the bronze and number of the count. Total will show the total of it. Guys, all this data we are getting into API only. Here we can see every country wise we get this data. Bronze, gold, silver and total. So from here we are showing this is the medal of the gold and silver and the bronze medal over here. Next challenge for us is to render the table view or render the card view. So we need to switch between these two. Clicking on these two icons, actually we will switch between these two views. So these are the IDs over here. So we'll write down the event over here. First we will get the element through the get element by ID. Then we will add the add event listener. On click we need to be write down one functions over here. Functions I'm writing down toggle function. I'm writing down toggle view. In this view we'll pass it table, and on another one we will pass the card. Copy of it, paste, and here we will write on the card. So this function now we need to define it. So this is the functions. This is the table view. In this table view we'll get a view, and we need to write down functionality inside in it. The first thing is whatever the view will change, we need to be define the current view. Okay. Second thing is definitely once we will change the view, we should be called the render view function also. So we'll call it. So you can see in the browser when we click on this icon, nothing is happening, because when we click on this particular icon, we need to be hide the particular view and switch the or show the another view. So to do this one over here, we need to write down whatever the view we will get it over here. On the basis of that, we need to be change the display property of that particular view, block or none. So first we will write down for table view. So if the view is the table, we'll show this table view as a block of the property of display style, otherwise we'll make the none. So view is the table, then style property will change and the property name is display, and we'll make the block. If the view is not this one, then we will make it to none. Similar to this one, we need to change the property of the card view also. Over there we will use the display flex. Only this is the difference. If the card is the view, we will change the flex. Flex is the CSS property by which we can show items side by side. Now let's check on the browser. When we switch between them, it is working, but this icon is not actually highlighting. To make this possible, we can write down one more thing. So this is the toggle class. This class will be applied or added into existing class if the view is the table view. Similar to this one, we can write down card view icon also. So this is the card view icon. If the view is the type is card, then this particular thing will be toggle. Let's see on the browser. Yes, this is working well. To search, guys, this is our input box and this is ID. So first we will get the, so we need to be write down one event on it. Once we key press or either key up, or we can say input particular event is trigger, we need to be start the searching it. Here we are actually adding the event on the search input. So this is event, input is the event, and this is the search data is the functions. So function we will make it over here, search data. First we need to get the input value. So this is the search input value. We should be trim it also. It might be the white space. Then we should be checked into lowercase only, because if it is lower and uppercase, the chances of that string won't be matched. So if search term we have, then we'll do something. If search term we does not have, then we need to do something. So if input box is empty, guys, we should be add original data into the medal data, and finally we should be render the view also. But if we have any such input, we should be filter the data. So filter is very simple, guys. This is the medal data and this is filter. One by one from the medal we will goes over here data. from their country name we are checking the in lowercase, and we are using over here includes. So include is the functions that will be written if that particular string or the part of the string will be consist of. This is the search term what we are typing. Suppose I type it over here IN. So in this list, whichever actually match the country name, it will return that in a form of array of the list over here. That array of the list, that filtered list, we will assign to over here. So this is also done. Let's test it, this one. So over here, suppose I'm writing down India, and we can see it is filtering very good, right? So we can see it is filtering it. And suppose if I write down complete name, can see. So if I clear it, we can see the complete country list over here. So this part is also done. Now the sorting part is left. So to sort a table data, on clicking on the column name, so we have, this is the TH, this is the column name. So we need to click on these one. And so guys, one more thing over here, we are actually having some data also. So from this data sort, we can identify on which column we are clicking on it. So in HTML, we can add any custom attribute to prefix the data. So we need to be add an event on every TH, and we need to get this attribute data sort, and we need to pass in a function, and on the basis of that, suppose rank we need to be sort according to like a number wise, right? Sorting by default in JavaScript we are doing the sorting in string format, right? Then we need to be use the sorting callback functions. Here we will get all the th, and we are running on loop on it. So one by one th we will get, and on the th we will add event listener and click event. Once we click on that particular th, then this function we wanted to call, and we need to be get this attribute. So to get this attribute, we need to write on th dot get attribute, and we need to give the attribute name. So this is our attribute name, data hyphen sort short, right? And the value we will collect it into variable constant, column is the name. Okay, so finally this column value we will pass to a function. This is the functions. Now we need to write down the logic for sort data functions. So over here we will get the one by one column. First we will make the two local variables. By default should be the sorted or rank. This is the sorting directions. Second thing is, here we will write down if column whatever we are getting it as an argument or as a attribute, we will compare to the sort column. If it is same, means user will click it again on the same column, then we need to change the direction of it. Here we write down sort directions. Yes, if the sort direction is ascending, then we'll change to descending. Otherwise, we will make the ascending over here. This is correct. Next thing is, if the user is clicking on the new column or the next column, then we will assign this column to the sort column, and by default we will assign the sort direction is ascending over here. Next part is, we should be sorted the data. So this is our data, medal data, and we need to write down sort, and this is sorting callback functions. Guys, what we call these functions? This function is we called compare function, compare sort functions. Okay, here we'll write down the logic. So here it will pick the first two row, and these value we are actually putting into A and B. So in these functions, I'm making the two variable value A and B. First we will check if column name is country. We can write down switch statement also. Definitely name will become in a string. So column name is actually country. Then we will assign A country name into value of A, B country name into value of the B. From this function we'll return the three things, -1, 1 and 0. Okay, it means both are the value are equal. The value is the minus, then we can say we wanted to be sorting in descending order. If the value is the positive, then we can say the value we wanted to be sorting into a ascending order. So if values A is less than a value of the B, then we can say and sort direction is also ascending, then we'll return a -1. Otherwise we'll return a 1 over here. So this we compare only for country. Now if other than country we have, so whatever the column name we have, that we will get it from the medal, and that we will assign it over here. Okay, another thing is on rank, guys. So if you will see the data over here in the network tab, rank is actually outside of it, medal, right? So to rank, I'm making totally separate. This is rank 1. One more thing, on serial number I don't want it to be sorting, because every time we will actually search or filter it some data, we want it to be regenerate the serial number. So we can say if the serial number we have, we don't want it to return, or we can say this is actually equal value we will get it. Okay, so this is we will return from here itself. So this is a sorting function, guys. This functions we will call on every th click. So after this function is called, we should render the view also. So to render the view means this is the view. So whichever is the view is there, like table or the card view, it will render it. Right? So let's test it. We'll go on a browser. When we click, we can see this is working well, right? So we are able to sorting the data even over here also, here also. When we click it over here, we are not able to sort it. That's good, but we cannot see the icon over here. We should update the icon also, so that from the icon we can understand this data is ascending or descending, or which column actually we sorted it. So to see the icon over here, we will make another functions update short icon. In this function, first we will run a loop on the th, like giving then we will get this property also. This is the data sort, because we need to know which column is actually we are sorting and what is the direction of it. So these two property, guys, we already put it over here. So short column and the directions. So these two property, we will get it over here and we will compare it. On the basis of that, we will show a arrow up and down. So on every TS, this function will be run. One by one column data sort we will get. We are removing these classes on it. Next thing is we will write down if conditions. If the column equal to whatever the column we are running on the loop, that is the short column, or it should be actually greater than index. So why I'm writing down index? Because in the first column, I don't want sorting icon should become. So that's why we are actually ignoring that one. So if this is the short column, then we will add short icon active. And if the direction is descending, then we will add one more actually class. This is descending over here. This, guys, we will call it over here. Plus we should call on first render also. That meaning is over here, because once we land on our page after the API call, we should know which column is actually we are sorting it. So let's see on the browser. Yes, we can see this icon. When I click icon, we can see toggle is actually working, right? So it is working well also. So guys, this is the endpoint. This we can use it. Here we'll get other information also. So I'm changing the existing endpoint. So this was earlier endpoint, so I'm replacing with this one, olympic.com one. So in this endpoint, guys, the response will become totally different. So we need to format it also, and we need to filter the data also. Here we are getting a lot of data according to every sports wise. We are getting the data. First we need to filter it also. I'm changing it and I'll explain you guys. So this is the data, we'll get it. In this medal NOC, we will filter it. We want only the data that has gender is the TOT and sport is GLO. Okay, that data only I wanted to fetch it, and these property I want because I don't want to change my existing program. So I need to be format and grab these properties. So I required country, rank and the medal. These are the three major properties. All the properties, guys, we will get in format response, and this response I'm assigning on the medal data. Let's test it. Our program is working fine, but over here we can see ranking is not actually good because earlier data was pre-sorted. So we need to be sorted also. To sort our data, we can use our function. This is sort data, and we can call this functions over here. We don't need to be required update short icons. Directly we can use this one. We can pass the column name. Rank is the column name, and we can see in short data we require to pass a one column name. Let's see on the browser. So now data is sorted, but data is coming in ascending order. We want in descending order. That is also we already made it. So we can change the property over here descending. Let's save it. Now it's look good. So that's it, guy. I'm committing this code. You guys can take the latest. So that's it, guy. Next week also we will make similar kind of project. Till the time you guys can do the practice, check the reference code, write down in the comment if you didn't understand, or please improve it also. You can write down over here one icon, so that scroll up. You can write down the paginations. Over here you can write down the country code also. You can mix it up another API call. On clicking on this country, you can show dialog or detail of the country. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you. Happy coding.